Welcome back to the Fine Wine and Good Times podcast. This is our first episode of 2023, so welcome to the new year. I am your host, author Tracy Brown. One of my co-hosts tonight, Shy, couldn't be with us. Shy, we miss and love you, but my co-host Tamika's here. Hey,
Hi.
Tamika.
Hey, everybody.
Yes.
Peace and blessings to all.
How
Happy
you
New
feeling,
Year.
girl? How you feeling?
I'm a little under the weather myself.
Yeah. It's all right.
Cheyenne's home with the flu. I think she might have gave me a germ or something.
Right. But we appreciate that you pressed on.
Excuse my appearance, but I am wearing my favorite.
I love it.
Martin hoodie.
Can you show it in honor of Martin Luther King Day? Yes.
Martin Luther the King.
The King. Yes.
But
Junior.
This is Martin Lawrence.
Yes, I love that. And this looks like a limited edition. I see nobody else with this hoodie. So if you take it off and it goes missing.
It better not.
Oh, all right. We got some VIP A-list hip-hop royalty guests in the house tonight. We are starting off this year correct. So first off, joining us once again is the legendary Scrap Lover. Yes. From the dynamic dance duo Scoob and Scrap. Last time he was here, he hit us with some dance moves. We're not going to make you do it again unless you want to.
No, I'm good.
You good? All right.
I'm good.
All right, because the floor is yours.
I'm good.
All right. And then we have the legend, the great, the one and only from the Audio 2 fame, Milk D.
Yes. Thank you. Y'all made me feel so good. Thank you.
We're so happy to have you guys here. So we're going to get into some things, but first we have to start off. We got a pregame. We have to promote some things. If you guys have anything to promote, let me know. I want to let everyone know and remind you that my latest novel, Hold You Down, is in stores everywhere books are sold. In fact, Essence Magazine, Essence Magazine just named Hold You Down the #1 book to buy this.
I told y'all better get it now. Y'all sleeping on it.
Thank you.
There's a reason for it.
Thank you. I'm very proud and very honored. Thank you, Essence Magazine.
Nice.
Yes.
Congratulations.
I also want to promote that I have a nonprofit organization called Ladies First. Tamika has one called Have a Heart NY. Mm-hmm. Both organizations are aiming to impact the youth of Staten Island.
Underserved
and privileged communities of our borough and of all New York City.
Yes.
So we are sponsoring a vision board party, which is also a fundraiser, on Saturday, January 28th.
Mm-hmm. Men and women come.
Yes. A vision board is literally a board that you make and you manifest the things that you want for the year. So you put up pictures of the sexy vacation spots, the private jets, the words you want to attract to your life, all those things. And
the man, the woman,
the romance, And by looking at it every day, you invite these things into your life. You really do manifest them. I'm a witness. I've been doing this for 6 years.
And you just said it yourself, didn't you? Right before he just said you think
y'all
about
don't want to get started on this conversation.
Yes,
this will take all night.
Why?
Because we could talk about manifesting.
Let's talk about manifesting. Tell the people about manifestation.
My best friend know all about it. Oprah.
Yes. Yeah. It's a real thing. Wait, Oprah's your best friend?
Well, she's
She's the
first one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
got it.
She got the most money.
All right. Does Gail know Oprah's your best friend?
Let's revisit that.
All right, we're going to talk about that later. But anyway, the Vision Board Party is Friday, January 28th. That's Something Blue.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, January 28th. Come out, bring your girlfriends and your boyfriends. We're going to give you all the supplies. It's a fundraiser. It's at Something Blue on Forest Avenue. We will put the information in the chat so you know. Pull up.
Yes.
See the Fine Wine and Good Times host will be there.
Yes.
We'll talk about, we'll have
the brunch and bay. The brunch and bay is going to be there.
Yes.
few people be gonna having some nice finger foods, stuff like that, some wine.
Yes, it's gonna be a grown and sexy event. It's gonna be wonderful. From 6 p.m. to 10 p.m.
All while manifesting your dreams, your vision, everything. It's wonderful.
We're looking forward to seeing you there. Will you guys be there?
It's the new wave. Everybody should be on the 2023. Try something different.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It's time.
Right.
Yes. So I had a challenge for this year, which was, I think New Year's resolutions are like, nobody really sticks to them. So I chose a word for the year, a word to focus on and manifest that word. So for this year, my word is focus.
Focus.
What is your word?
My word is health.
Okay.
Yes.
I like it.
About health. Everybody need to go get your checkups, your annual checkups, your yearly, all of that. Women, men, boys, girls.
Absolutely.
Stay on top of your health.
Very important. Yes. I won't put you two on the spot yet. Oh, you got it? Go.
My word is limitless.
I love it.
Nice.
Limitless. Yeah.
I love it. Limitless blessings, limitless opportunities, limitless cash.
And I am limitless.
I love it.
These are my affirmations that I do. So that's one of
no limits on you.
I love that.
That's right.
I love that.
I'm going with positivity.
Okay.
Positivity.
Very good.
Too much negativity.
Yes.
Bring the positivity.
Yes.
People are feeding off the negative.
They do.
Yeah.
I know, like if I put up, say for instance, vision board, we are hosting a party. I'm not really getting too many likes and things like that. But if I start my status off,
what I can't
bitch,
right.
all the likes,
Everybody start chiming in.
Well, I should be like, bitch, come to my vision board party.
Right. You should, and then we'll get some people pulling up.
Well, negative energy is so much stronger than positive energy.
It is.
Go in the room and try and get somebody to go to church, right? But you could get them to go rob somebody.
Oh, absolutely. Quick. Let's hit a lick.
Yeah, right.
It's true.
That's
very true.
That's
negative
sad.
energy is strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could feel it because I'm all about like energy. I could feel negativity come around me.
Absolutely.
It disturbs my good peace.
Yes.
I have to get up and
feel
leave.
it in the air. Like you
sure
actually
can.
feel it in the air.
You sure can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm a big believer in that.
I wasn't always like that. Maybe I'm just in tune.
I think the older we get, the more in tune we become with our inner voice. Smoke, actually, our producer Smoke said something to me that I found very profound one day. He said, human beings are the only species on the planet that second guess ourselves. If an impala or a deer in the wild gets the instinct to run, they just take off. Yeah. And it saves their life most of the time. They may not see the danger, but they sense it and they don't question themselves. But human beings will sit there and go, maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm overreacting.
Right. We don't trust our instincts.
We don't trust our instincts. I think the older we get, if we're getting wiser, then we learn to pay more attention to that inner voice.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
What you sipping on tonight, Scrap?
Oh man, the saga continues. it never stops.
Is that the jungle juice again?
No.
Jungle juice, but I kind of put a twist to it.
I see, because it's darker than last time.
There you go. So this one right here is I'm going to go with the Bacardi and Pepsi.
Okay.
Oh shit.
And you can tell obviously it's more Pepsi than Bacardi.
So you say.
Very important.
So you say. I don't know. We're going to find out by the time this episode is over. All right. I'm sipping on, first of all, it's two things I want to point out. Number one, we read all the feedback from our fans in the comment section. And some of our viewers have been saying that we can't call ourselves fine wine and good times and be drinking all this barefoot and fruscato and stuff, right? So we trying real wines out now. This Karen Birmingham,
wow.
no like.
No Karens over here.
Karen, sorry, girl.
We don't like Karen.
I moved on to D.H. Elliott Sauvignon Blanc, and it is delicious. This is a 2020 blend. It is very good, and I would recommend it. Tamika, what are you having?
I'm drinking Black Girl Magic Rosé.
Yes, McBride Sisters. They never fail.
Those
Black
is
owned. Everywhere wine is sold, you can pick that up. That's a rosé you're having?
Yes.
It looks real delicious.
It does look good.
And then we got King Milk D who's drinking water. And that brings me to our one of our topics of discussion tonight. We were discussing the importance of health and how integral it is for everybody, especially over the age of 40, I would say, to go and get your annual checkup, make sure everything's right. And then we were talking about breaking habits and how difficult that is to do the older we get. So what inspired you to drink water and not join in the fuckery tonight?
Well, I stopped drinking a few years ago during COVID. And the reason I stopped, number one, my sugar was getting high. And also, during COVID, I was drinking so much, I wasn't sure if I was an alcoholic or not.
I think that happens to a lot of us.
Yeah, so I was like, let me see if I could stop. So I stopped.
Okay, cold turkey?
Cold turkey.
Nice.
Well, can
no
I
regrets.
ask you, like, is drinking wine every day, is that... signs.
Well, they say that.
Or is it like hard liquor, vodka, Hennessy?
I was ODing on those fireballs.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was drinking. Yeah.
Oh, you was drinking the good
I was going in the studio drinking the fireballs.
Not the fireballs.
Yeah, the fire.
Oh, wow.
That's not no good stuff.
No,
That's
it's the good stuff. It gets you where you gotta go quick.
That shit gets you fucking-
It gets you where you want to go real fast.
And the thing a lot of people don't know about those fireballs is that's synthetic liquor.
Oh,
that's not even real liquor.
No
That's
wonder it gets you there
synthetic.
fast.
They make that in the lab.
That sound like Cisco. Remember Cisco back in the day?
That's why it gets you. Yeah.
Changed my life.
Paul Masson and E&J and all that. Yes.
Throwbacks.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. So that's inspiring. It's a great way. This is not a New Year's resolution or anything.
No, it's been
a way of
years.
life for a while now.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Aww.
And I like that you came here to find wine and good times and you didn't let us be bad influences on you. So
I have no desire to drink. I don't even want it anymore.
Okay.
I wish I could be like you.
You could be like
just
me.
drink more water.
Yeah.
I hate water.
I'm not a big water fan either, but this year one of my I don't want to call it a resolution. One of my determinations was to drink more water. So I'm trying to do a gallon.
Okay.
I can't. It's hard.
I got to spice it up with something. I got to put something in it and not lime and all of that. That's
put a
nasty.
little. No, I saw
You
something
like sugar.
Yes, you like
And
sugar.
salt.
Put a little sugar in there. Put a little Kool-Aid in there.
But you could put alkaline salt in there, like that pink Himalayan sea salt. It's actually
you
good for
like that Himalaya salt. I don't
do.
like
You don't
that.
like
and
that.
the truffle and all of that.
Yeah, you're not into all of that.
No.
All right.
No.
Trace,
you
quick question.
Yeah.
Is there like a targeted goal you're trying to guzzle down a gallon of water within an hour, 2 hours, or that's just
in
for
the day.
Oh, okay.
In the day.
You know,
frame.
if you drink too much water, you could get poisoned.
Drown yourself.
That's
Okay,
what they say.
hold on.
Your
Let me-
body is really good for your
water.
skin.
All right.
It is.
Can we talk about water for
Let's
a
talk
second?
about it.
Okay, so I'm obsessed with water.
Okay.
Here.
And
Yeah.
Love it.
so I have
Okay.
like several
Swimming in it or
stages-
drinking it or all
Drinking
of the
it.
All right.
drinking it, but I have several stages of water filters in my house. So I have
You a Brita? You got a
no
Brita?
Brita. No,
Oh.
that's for amateurs.
Ah, all right.
So I have a few
Excuse
on
me.
my main
Okay.
on my main thing, and then in the kitchen I have the reverse osmosis water.
Oh,
So-
are you alkaline and all that?
It's not alkaline; it just takes everything out of the water. Everything.
What did you call it?
It's called reverse osmosis.
Oh.
Okay, but let me just say this.
That's fancy.
So on my main water line in the house, it's like a water filter, and it's supposed to last 6 months.
Okay.
Yo, after 6 weeks,
It's
I take it out. I look at the water filter, and it looks like toilet water. Like
Oh,
it's
no.
brown. It's nasty. And I personally believe that all of these diseases, cancer,
Yes.
I think it's coming from the water.
I do
we got to
too.
be
A lot
careful.
of parasites and everything in there.
So and chemicals.
Yeah.
Right. They have.
You live in New York? 'Cause I heard we have
Yeah,
good
I
this
live-
is
water.
why I don't drink water.
No,
That's not why.
This is what I'm saying to you.
That's not why.
If
I'm
you're
just kidding.
drinking water and don't drink that spring water either. You have to get a filter,
Brita?
reverse osmosis,
Not Brita.
especially
I'm
if
writing
you're
this
drinking.
down because do they sell it on Amazon?
Brita's yeah, you could get you
Okay.
could buy one
I'm
at
gonna
Home
look I'm
Depot.
look into that.
But the water is so polluted, it's crazy. And I have a filter, a thing that tests the water.
Yeah.
So
Y'all trying to make
if
me
you
drink this
it's
pollution.
crazy because if you go to like Poland Springs or
Yeah.
whatever, you test it, it's dirty.
Yeah.
Like all of those spring waters
I
are
have
dirty.
that
I never
test.
knew
That
this.
test
I'm being
kit, you drop the
educated.
water,
Yeah, you
yes.
put the thing in
All
it.
of them.
My
Deer
my
Park,
water
yes.
from my kitchen
Ugh.
is zero. It has zero
Because you got that
contaminants.
reverse osmosis.
Right. So
Wow.
if you're going to be drinking a lot of water,
Yes, I am.
you got to get
the right
because
kind
I
of
hear
water.
it's good for you. They say that the body,
complicated.
the body is mostly water, and they say that like my I started going to hi Mamie McDonald, what do they call them? Esthetician to the stars. I started going to Mamie McDonald, and she told me that water is the best thing possible for your skin. You want your skin to be radiant
and glow,
and glow.
Yes. But if it has fluoride,
yes, water,
and
that's
you know,
I just hurt my feelings though, man.
What?
That's probably why I got.
I absolutely love faucet water.
I
That's
do
the
too.
worst.
Well,
I love faucet
You're from
water.
Brooklyn?
Yes,
That's why Brooklyn got the best water on the
It's the worst.
planet.
Yo, let me tell y'all something.
Down.
I got a picture in my
Ever since I
refrigerator
started
every
drinking
morning.
Brooklyn,
the osmosis, if I even
best
smell regular water, it smells like sewer.
Oh,
Where?
wow.
Staten Island?
Anywhere, because he's so used to clean water.
You know what? I'm sorry. I think it has a lot to do with the borough.
I think so too. I agree.
And my family could attest to this.
I learned to drink
my
faucet water when I was
grandmother
a
lived
child.
in Brooklyn.
They say New York has some of the best water in the country.
It's low with fluoride. It whitens your teeth so
Staten Island got that Jersey
but you're
water.
not supposed to
it's
digest
disgusting.
fluoride.
Staten Island water, you have to let it
Toothpaste?
sit and it
You don't
has
swallow
to die
toothpaste.
You can't spit it all out. You're gonna take some of it in.
But if you're drinking gallons of water with fluoride, that'll make you sick.
No, you can't do that.
Brooklyn
has the best water.
I'm
Brooklyn
getting
made
this
the best
filter
Kool-Aid.
tomorrow.
I believe so.
Staten
My
Island
life has
water
been
is not
changed.
good.
It's gonna cost you like $200, and maybe a plumber might charge you $200
to put it in. Yeah. But it's worth it when you think about all the bottled water that you buy in a year. Because if any, it's a significant amount of money over a year.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I might have a picture on my filter.
Sure.
I'm gonna see if I have it.
Please do.
It was 6 weeks. That thing looks so crazy. Don't wait for me. I'll look for it.
All right. Well, I think it's wonderful. Prior to when we started filming, there was a room full of brothers having a conversation about going to get their annual checkup, and Scrap shared that he's quit a bad habit.
Oh, yeah.
I just think it's wonderful to see, because so many of us skip our annual physical and all those doctor's appointments that are so important, mammograms and colonoscopies and all of that. So it's very important. Yeah.
I thought it was a colonoscopy.
Perhaps.
That one.
I could have pronounced that wrong, but you know what I'm talking about.
You never had one, boo.
No, I haven't. I'm not old enough now.
I'm going for mine.
You are?
I'm very delinquent.
I don't think I'm old enough yet.
I know. It's not a good look, but I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. And it's time. It's really time.
We appreciate the honesty.
It's time.
It's not so bad.
It's not bad at all.
It's not bad, right? No. It's the pregame. It's what you got to do to prepare for it.
Cleanse.
It's
right,
you
got to cleanse yourself
the
out.
Concept of what this person is doing to me while I'm sleeping.
You sleep.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you had worse things done to you when you're sleeping.
While you was awake.
That too, right?
All right. So for those of you,
you're not even aware of it.
Those of you who don't know, one of the reasons I'm sitting here pinching myself, because we're talking about colonoscopies and filtered water with such legends.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
God.
Like, if the young 13-year-old me would have said, "Oh my God!" So I'm super thrilled that you guys are here. So Scrap, for those who don't know, for those who might have missed him on our prior segments, you are major part of hip hop royalty. And I say that because the young people don't really know how much in hip hop, the DJ, the dancers were all part of the act in the beginning.
Absolutely.
And the MC.
You had to have it.
Right.
You had to have
the MC, the DJ, the dancers. It was a package.
Yes. Yep.
So you were one half of a legendary dance duo. So much so that you were on the album covers. You were part of the whole.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
You still try to do these moves, and when you see a video, you still try to get up.
Yeah.
I do it.
I do too. Because it's kind of hard, and it throws me off to look at myself on a TV.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's actually me.
Yes.
17 years old.
Yes.
All over the place, traveling everywhere. Milk was there.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Yes.
Having a good time.
And Milk D, for those who have been under a rock for the last 100 years, right? If you know, you know. This is Audio 2 was a group, was a duo back in the 80s. Yes, you made your debut?
80s.
Right.
86. 86?
Yeah.
Tell us how you got your start, Milk.
I don't know. I was 11.
How I got my start?
Yeah.
Oh man.
First of all, where you from?
I'm from Brooklyn, but I moved to Staten Island when I was a teenager.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you did that legendary Milk is Chillin', Giz is Chillin', were you in Staten Island at the time?
Yo, I recorded that at my house in Staten Island. Yes.
On Vanderbilt.
Yes.
How do I know?
Okay.
First off, you was the first celebrity. I think even before Force MDs, maybe.
No. They were out before me.
They was around the same time.
They were like
85,
83,
Okay,
yeah, maybe
so,
84.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, I
Tender
remember
Love
how Force MD took over Staten Island. That
For
was
those
crazy.
who don't know, the Force MDs got their start on the Staten Island ferry, riding back and forth and singing. You know, shout out to the Force MDs. They just had their street named after them in Mariners Harbor, which is where I'm from.
We used to ride by the house, like, you know, not ride by. We used to walk past your house and just be like, that's where Milk lived.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like a little,
he told me a story, a couple stories.
Very proud. It was like a greenhouse.
It was white. It's white. Yeah.
It was white at the time. I think they painted it green right now.
Yeah, and it's on the dead end street. It's not on Vanderbilt.
We was looking at the wrong house.
Hilarious.
Let me find out.
Wait, hold
Which
on.
house?
So when they ask you
Right
where you from,
on the corner.
you wave your Staten Island flag or your Brooklyn flag?
Both.
I do both.
Okay.
I do
As
both
you should.
now. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in the
should.
beginning, it's a long story, but when I first came to Staten Island, they didn't, you see, obviously, you know, they didn't really,
Accept you too.
yeah,
well.
so.
Oh, tell
Staten
us
Island
about
was
that.
whack back
Because I don't
then.
know anything about that. So for those of us who are ignorant to it, tell
They
us.
used to call us, you know, those Brooklyn niggas.
Yeah.
And we used to be fighting all the time and stuff. Because we weren't from here.
Right.
So-
So what was your affiliation? You have family out here?
Yeah, my he's from Brooklyn, but he actually moved to Staten Island because his wife was going to college in Staten Island. So he
Shout
moved
out
to
to
Staten Island.
CSI.
That's how we got here.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you made your debut in 1987 with the single Make It Funky. But it was the B side of that record that really went, as they would say nowadays, viral, which was Top Billing.
Killer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you asked me a question that I never responded to.
Please.
But I'm going to give you a alternate answer since you said that. And this is like the biggest lesson that I ever learned in my life. And I still use this every day.
Okay.
So Top Billing, when we released Top Billing, we released it ourselves. First of all, we shopped it to all of the labels.
Okay.
And they all was like, no, it's whack.
Really?
This is just a beat. He sounds like a girl. We were shopping Top Billing and Light's first song, I Cram to Understand You.
Yes.
He sounds
MC
like
Light
a
is
girl.
your sister.
Yeah, we're yeah.
And his DJ, the
And Giz is
DJ
my
lived.
so Giz is my real brother.
Okay.
Gizmo.
And
Okay, DJ
Light
Gizmo.
is my musical sister.
I see. Okay.
But so we were shopping both songs at the same time. I Cram to Understand You and Top Billing.
Yes. Oh my
They were
God,
like,
what
oh,
a
it's just a
time.
beat. He sounds like a girl. She sounds like a boy. So they didn't sign us.
Okay.
So we decided to do it ourselves. We never were in the music business
Unheard of
before.
in 1980. What was
Right.
it? 1980?
86.
86? Okay.
86.
Independent.
But keep that in mind. You said 87.
Right.
So we did it, and my father pressed up the records. We had records, so we were pushing it ourselves. Every day, we put records in envelopes, go to the post office on Tompkins,
Yes.
and send out hundreds of records every day. So we were sending out records. The response we got from the DJs was the same as it's whack.
Really?
It's terrible. He sounds like a girl. This went on. It took us a whole year.
So you were getting the same feedback over and over again.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why you said 87.
Yeah.
But we
Started
started pushing it in 86.
Okay.
So it took us a whole year before we could get anybody to play it.
Yeah.
And I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
It got so bad. They were saying I was whacked so much that there was times I would come home and cry. Like they was like, you're whack,
Really?
you're whack, you're whack.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is,
Don't give it.
okay, first, you know what they say about opinions. Opinions.
Right.
are-
Everybody's got one. Yes.
and a lot of them stink. Right? Your opinion stinks.
And you made the
Like
beat.
an ass.
Yes.
You made the beat too. So when you're getting this criticism, it's not just on the content, it's on the totality of it.
project, yeah.
Okay.
So just because people tell you that you're whack,
Yeah.
now 38 8 years later.
Yeah.
It's the most sampled song
Absolutely,
ever. It's like, how can it be whack? And
Right.
you know what I mean?
And it's not
Exactly.
celebrated.
That's how I live my life.
But I
now.
know
It's
that's
like, I don't listen to what people say.
Don't leave.
I stay focused, and I don't when I'm getting criticized, I don't get down.
Right.
And I just stay focused. Like you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. See why
Everybody's
that's the word of the
criticism.
year. That's great advice too, especially for creative types, because I too, when I first started writing, I remember sending out my book, and you worry that what you think is hot may not be hot to somebody else.
Right.
You
can't.
You can't. Yeah.
If you feel it, just go for it. That's my opinion. If you feel it, your passion, you put
it out.
your inside self, your heart into it. Don't listen to nobody.
So what was the big breakthrough moment?
So there was a DJ in Connecticut, college DJ in Connecticut. He started playing it, right? So he started playing it. Then slowly other colleges, Texas, whatever. And then one day, Marley Marl,
right,
in the Rap Attack, he played "I Cram to Understand You," which was Light's song. So I'm like, oh, that means he got it. I'm like, yo, he's gonna play Top Billin'. So like the first 3 or 4 weeks, he just kept playing "I Cram to Understand You." Then like the 5th week, he played Top Billin', and once he played it, that was it.
That's it. I
took
feel like all of us, the first time we heard it, didn't you want to hear it right immediately? Hear it again.
I was 11. I was in elementary school. I probably was graduating 5th grade or something like that. They played that at my graduation. That's when I fell in love with hip hop.
Yeah.
And your song is what made me. And then
thank you.
The fact that you was from Staten Island, or we thought it was a rumor, like that's his house right there. That's his house right there. And we would go there and just,
Oh, you know what? I think
you
you're
was
talking
in
about
there.
K-Rock's house.
It was
He's
K-Rock.
on Vanderbilt, right? Well, my house is right around the corner.
Right,
because
we knew y'all all hung out together. So we used to be like, MC like K-Rock and Milk is right in there. And we, used to be outside.
So I never knew when I was Staten Island or even affiliated with Staten Island. I had no idea.
It was like we put it on the map. We was proud to be from Staten Island right there.
Show you how mean these Staten Island people were.
Okay.
When I first got my Jetta, they put milk in the gas tank. Messed up my whole engine. I had to get it.
Oh, they hated
they
on
was
you.
Hating on me bad.
Wow.
Yeah, Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Was you messing with somebody's girl or something back there? Why they was hating on you so hard?
Well, yeah, and and I wasn't from here.
Shit, I was 11. I wasn't in the street.
Yes,
but
your brilliance and your talent, you was perceived as an automatic.
But the crazy thing is, I still see that all of those people now. We're all good.
Yeah,
cool
really,
now.
You know who they are? Tell me.
Yeah, I know some of them. But we're all good and cool now. That was 38 years.
I'm trying to remember who was in I was 11. I'm trying to remember who was running shit back then that would do something like that. I think
somebody.
I know.
Now that beat, that beat, did you play it on the table first, or how did you come up with that's such a legendary?
So I was Light had a song on the B side of I Cram to Understand You. It was called Take It Light.
Okay.
So I decided that I was going to do a remix to Take It Light. So I made this beat to the acapella of Light's Take It Light.
Okay.
But I was down there and I was like, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to write something. So I wrote, this whole song took me half an hour. So I wrote the lyrics. I was sick too. I was in the basement. I had the flu. And I wrote it. And I was like, let me just put it down. I had the paper. I put it down. And it was because of Daddy-O from Stetson Sonic.
I was about to say that too.
When I let Daddy-O hear
Daddy-O, yep.
He said, he was like, yo, this is the one right here. I'm like, really? He's like, yo, this is it. This is it. I'm getting ready to do the Unsung for Stet coming up this month. Yeah, they do.
Go Stetson.
Between that record, Top Billin' and Stetson Sonic, brace yourself for the awesome and real. There's never been another song. Between those two songs,
those at that
DJs
era.
scratched the hell out of that song.
Yeah.
Scratched the hell out of that.
Wow.
They had a good time. The DJs on radio and the clubs and everything.
Yeah.
They used to scratch that song up. Nice, man. Good job, man. Good job.
Oh, thank you.
Amazing. Absolutely.
But that's all from manifesting, but that's a whole nother conversation.
That right there, on the wall,
have it now.
On the walls, I would come down and hear the guys on banging on the wall and guys rhyming in the lunchroom,
on the tables and all that.
That was the first rhyme I learned how to beatbox too.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was that beat, and to this day, it's like
I didn't.
As soon as you hear it, you're ready to dance.
I'll sound right.
It was
yes, that shit is
completely organic. I can't even take credit. It just happened. You know what I mean? It's not something I thought of.
Right.
And I did.
You didn't know it was going.
Let me ask you a question as a creative and part of your process. Do you believe that there's just sometimes a moment where it just everything aligns?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's the story of my life.
Meant to be.
And it's to the point now where I almost feel like if people say that it's whack, that it's great. Because I had another
They not used to hearing
song.
new.
Well, actually, my biggest selling song, there's an artist from Staten Island. His name is Eamon. You all know Eamon?
Yes.
He made that song, I Don't Want You Back.
Yes.
Fuck you, you hoe. I don't want you back. So when I did that song.
Oh, that was you.
I produced that song.
You know we was bumping that too.
Yeah, that was a huge
what
song.
What happened to him?
He's good. He's around. That actually sold 6 million copies.
Wow.
But when I did that song, they were like, yo, this is a great song. We think it's a hit song, but they'll never play that on the radio. That ended up being the most played song in the world that year.
You kidding me?
So every time somebody tells you,
that's inspiring.
Staten Island was going hard for that song. All the white boys, all the white bitches.
That's another.
That's
big
inspiring.
Song. Yeah, so you can't when people tell you.
That's just their opinion, like you said. That's their opinion.
But it's easy to get discouraged when the person giving you their opinion is supposed to be a professional.
Right.
These are the tastemakers, and if they say it's trash, if a DJ says it's trash, and I'm an artist, it must be trash. If a publishing company turns it down, and I'm a writer, it must be. But this is proof.
Yep.
That. The tastemakers don't always have the taste.
No, I call it the Dennis Rodman theory.
Okay.
Right? So when Dennis Rodman first dyed his hair orange, everybody's like, yo, what's wrong with this dude? He's a clown, whatever. But next thing you know, 8 months later, they had little kids at the game with orange hair. People get influenced. So in most things, when it starts off whack or crazy, Busta Rhymes, right? All of these things is unheard of initially, but once it starts taking off, everybody
copies it.
I think because it's it's new to the ear,
right? They're
it's
not
not
ready.
the norm, so it's like, I don't want.
But then once you get 10 people, and then 20 people, 100 people, then everybody follows along.
When Missy Elliott first came out with her style, that doom, doom, doom.
Even
that's like, what is this? But that shit was so...
Yeah, probably since Queen Latifah, the first female hip-hop artist to not lean into her sexuality. And we weren't used to that, but it was trend-setting. It became...
But she wasn't the first. Light was the first.
Absolutely.
Not to lean into her sexuality. But Latifah's dope as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a question for both of you. What do you think is the difference between the hip-hop of your era, our generation, and today's hip-hop? Do you think it's the same? Should today's hip hop have a different category? Could we call it maybe rap inspired music as opposed to
shady?
I'll probably go with return of the real rap music. Return of the real rap music.
What, that's what you want to call what
now?
New music?
No, not the new music. What's about to come full circle? They're going to take over that.
Oh, you think it's going to come back around?
Old school hip hop is going to come back.
I think we're in the beginning of a renaissance.
We're starting to see it.
And it's coming back around.
We're starting to see it.
Oh, praise God. From your mouth to God's ears. I hope y'all are right. Okay,
so every interview I do, I get this question. And they always try to get me to shit on the new hip.
Right.
But this is what I have to say. I'm not a hypocrite.
Okay.
Right? So when like I said, when Top Billing came out, they said it was whack.
Yeah.
And everybody said it was whack. And my mother, when I let my mother hear Top Billing, she said, that sounds terrible. What is that? It's so noisy. That's what she said. So, and I'm probably older than my mother was when Top Billing came out.
Okay.
So I think as we get older, we have lower tolerance for
noise,
for innovation, or
for new things
that are different.
Yeah.
Right? Change. Music, throughout the history of music, has always been a sign of the times. It's a reflection of where they are. So although we may not be able to relate completely, it's the kids that are doing it, they understand.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. So what I say is, when they ask me this question, I say it's the same. Back in the days, we had great songs, we had good songs, and we had whack songs.
Okay.
And it's the same now.
Thing.
We have
Name me a great
songs,
song right now.
good songs.
A great song from the last 5 or 10 years.
Kendrick Lamar's all
He's
his
great.
stuff is
Yes.
great.
Okay.
Good choice. Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
I'll stop there.
I like that.
But I understand where you're going,
Right.
but it's just a reflection.
You know why I say that? Because while I was preparing to interview you tonight, I was thinking about the impact that you've had on music, and it's significant. If I can't even name the number of people who sampled.
Over 300.
Oh my goodness. And have you ever said no to a sample request?
That's okay. I have a story
All right.
for you.
I like a story.
So back in the days when they used to, when somebody wanted to sample, they would send us a cassette.
Right.
And we would listen to it, and then we would approve or disapprove the sample. So I got a cassette one day. It was from this a group called All Saints. They were like Spice Girls in Europe.
Right.
And I listened to it, and I was like, what is this pop shit? Like, I was like, this is mad corny. I said, no.
Right.
Tell them no. They can't use it. So my father was like, why would you say no? And I was like, cause that's corny. He was like, but it's money. He's like, your fans, the people that love you, they not even gonna ever hear the song. He's like, clear the sample. I said, okay, whatever, clear the sample. Cleared the sample, single comes out, and sold 6 million copies.
Are you kidding me?
6 million copies, which I own a percentage of that.
Yes.
Nice.
And ever since then, that was the last time.
Yeah.
You
The
said
last
no.
time that I don't even listen anymore. Don't even send it to me. Just clear
do
it.
Yeah,
Just clear it.
Do you worry
Why
that
not?
maybe somebody will do like injustice to the song if you?
It doesn't matter.
Because it
doesn't matter.
Wow.
It doesn't matter. Clear it. Pay me.
That's
Give me my
incredible.
percent.
What's the name of the song about All Saints? I want to listen to it.
I can't remember the
All
name.
right,
I'll tell you. Though.
Please
I'll let
do.
you know.
Yeah,
but this year we got French Montana. He
Nice.
got one.
Okay.
They use it. Black Eyed Peas on their latest album. Fergie. I'm forgetting, but there's about
Which one are they using? Top billing?
who?
Which ones are they sampling from you? Top billing?
French Montana didn't use Top Billin'. He used another song I have called "Put It to Music."
Gotcha.
But Black Eyed Peas they used and Fergie they used Top Billin'.
But I mean,
Gotcha.
it's when I was preparing for this interview and thinking about your career and the songs that you made, the classics, because there's a hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a classic, and to think of all the people who have sampled it and who you've done songwriting for, MC Light, Kanye West, Jay-Z, the list just goes on and on. I think about today's music and I say, who will be considered a classic from, like, which of these songs that I'm hearing now would be Hall of Fame worthy or considered a classic, years from now?
Okay, it's funny you say that because I think about that. But before we go any further, I have to say, and I am extremely grateful and I understand how blessed I am for that.
Yes.
I don't take it for granted.
That's great.
I thank God every day and I'm happy with my path as an artist. So I don't take it for granted that these people are sampling it.
It's a huge compliment.
That's a compliment.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's big.
I'm flattered, especially, there's so many, it's so many huge ones that use it. R. Kelly, Biggie, Mary use it twice.
Wow.
Puffy, Kanye use it twice.
Great.
Jay-Z,
That's a great.
All the good ones.
Wow.
All the good
on and on. 50 Cent. So Eminem. When these artists that I admire a lot, like Jay-Z and Kanye, when they use it, it's like I'm completely flattered and honored. And I feel like,
because it's an homage to you.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, I've actually made a mark in this. That's what
hip hop history.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
And that's the goal. That's the goal right there. You want to make an everlasting mark.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
But getting back to your question, right? That's what I tell my wife. She's like, Milk D. I think that Motown, like those Motown records stood the test of time.
Yes,
right?
they did.
To this day.
Even to this day, My Girl is a bop.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
You know, I got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. I mean, where they do that at?
I can't think of a bad time to play that song.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's so many. But other than Motown, there's not too many, well, definitely not labels, but there's not a lot of artists that stand the test of time like that. There are some, but it's fewer. Even if you think about, top billing is 30, 38, 37 years old.
That's amazing.
But a lot of the other songs from that time, they didn't.
That's what I mean.
They didn't survive.
Right.
They didn't survive.
Why do you think that is?
He made a classic.
I don't know.
I have the answer. I think I have the answer.
Okay.
I think, not to cut you off, I think I have the answer. Have you any idea how many new dance steps was created off that song in the club?
And
How many
isn't
new
that, I know
dance
the
steps?
why. Even nowadays,
I was one of them.
Yes, but you.
Even nowadays, TikTok, if your song goes viral on TikTok, that song
They
goes.
got a dance step.
Yeah, but
Right.
it's disposable.
Oh, yeah, that's
though.
like a
it doesn't.
true.
That's true.
It just goes.
It's
and
a
comes.
cycle now.
Music
it's a
is more
cycle.
disposable now, and I think that has a lot to do with the technology.
Right.
Like you said, TikTok. It's like it's so much information happening. I would like
old
to
school
believe
is last week. That's what they say. These young kids, they be like, it was so old ago, and I'm like, oh, so long ago. I'm like, when? Last week.
yeah. They talk about Drake he's old school and Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
I'm like, what?
That's crazy. J. Cole is old school.
Old school.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they said. That's what they said.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh my.
Yeah. Forget about so I teach also. I teach a class in Brooklyn, and I also teach a class out here at the Carter Center.
A class in what?
In Brooklyn, I do a class with April Walker from Walker Wear.
Yes, Walker Wear. Shout out to April. We could use some Walker Wear, April.
I will. I'll see you tomorrow. I'd go to class tomorrow.
Is it just a women's clothing? Is it men clothing?
Walker Wear is everybody.
It's Walker Wear.
Yeah,
Nice.
Walker Wear is everybody. It's classic hip hop attire.
Nice.
Shout out to April Walker.
So our class in Brooklyn is Be Your Own Brand. And the one out here at the Carter Center at Stapleton, I'm like teaching them how to use the computer music stuff.
Really?
Oh, that's amazing.
I have a point. Yes, right. Yes.
Okay.
That's great.
But I went in there, and when I started the one in at the Carter Center, they was like, who are you? They don't know who I am. And I was like, yeah, well, did you ever hear 50 Cent? I get money. They're like, 50 Cent, who's that? They don't even know who 50 is.
We're
you know what I mean? Like, they're young, though. They're in high school.
What is that about, though? I have to, and I'm sorry to interrupt your train of thought, because I do want to hear the answer to that question, but what is it about this generation that, all right, my father was a doo-wop dude. You know, he was Frankie Lyman, Little Anthony and the Imperials. You know what I'm saying?
Best.
And I grew up, LL Cool J, Milk D, Big Daddy Kane, etc. But I had a knowledge of my father's era of music. So I know about the Temptations and Motown.
These
and all
kids
that.
don't know
These
nothing.
kids have zero knowledge of our music.
They know what's in
and
front of their face right then.
Why do you think? Why is that happening? Are we failing as a generation?
Well,
yes,
I think we are. I think we are to a certain extent, because we have to. My kids know.
Well, what? They don't have they don't have music class and things like that.
Well, that's
neither did we. But I was listening to. My father would play the music, and I would learn what he was listening to. Is it that we're all in our ear pods and everybody's playing their own thing?
These kids is in their phone.
You know what I think? I think as kids, when we were younger, our parents played a certain type of music around the house.
Right.
That's what started.
That's
These
what
kids nowadays,
no more.
and it kind of like it's soaked up inside of us.
It did.
It's there.
I found myself singing along.
Yes, and no matter where we go, we had something. My mother used to play that when she was washing the dishes. My dad used to play that, when he was cooking. It just always rings a bell inside of your head.
Yes.
The kids nowadays, they don't have that.
Why?
They hear what their friends
what are we doing wrong?
They hear what their friends are playing. We don't play that good music in the house
That's
no
true.
more.
Right.
I mean, figure when I was coming up, a big deal was getting the stereo system for the house.
Yes.
It's a big thing.
That was a big deal.
Yeah,
the high five with the TV.
It's a stack.
What?
The turntable.
Yes, with the glass.
And
the
floor model.
Yeah, my mother, on Saturdays, clean the house. She used to play Angela Bofield.
Yes. Oh, your mama was playing the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Like you said, we're all in our headphones now. Like,
yeah.
it's like,
and
we don't even have that no more.
They pick up on what their friends are listening to, what their friends are playing in school, what their friends are, sending each other through text and everything.
Because that's a shame in 2023 that any child wouldn't know who 50 Cent is. Like, I can even understand them saying they never heard of the Force MDs. But 50 Cent is like everywhere.
I mean, think about it. 50 was early 2000s. That's 23 years ago.
But even still,
these kids only.
Oh my God, really?
It was 20 years ago.
Oh,
14 years old. That was 6 years before they was born.
But do you think that they think we don't know good music? Because even though I wasn't listening to Frankie Lyman and them in my headphones, I knew the music. I knew the artists. You know, my son seemed to have zero, except my oldest son is a hip hop head. And I told you, he's thrilled that I'm here with you guys. But my youngest son is 26. And I brought him to a KRS-One concert last January. And he literally was like, Ma, I went for you. Cause
like KRS-One.
And I was like, are you kidding me? Well, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like a failure as a parent.
My 26-year-old, he listens to the music that my mother's mother used to listen to. He's
wonderful.
An old soul.
Yeah.
Because he played it so much in the house.
Yeah.
It was repetitive in the house.
And it's
you
just
can't
good
throw a
music.
song on a kid nowadays, expect them to,
embrace it.
My nephew's 30, and I put on Rick James, one of Rick James, and he heard the percussion, the
everything.
Beat. He was just like blown away. He couldn't believe that shit, and he loves that song. I forgot. I think it was.
That's
Super
what
Freak.
I was gonna say. When you do expose them, though, like I have a daughter that is 16, and
Give it to me, baby.
She listens to, pop songs. She likes K-pop.
I know, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah.
But when I played her Rick James, or when I play that stuff, a lot of times they'll be like, "Oh, here you go, Dad," or whatever. But then you catch them in their room, though, playing that, and I'm like, you playing? She's playing Mary Jane the other day. I'm like, oh.
So you mentioned your children. You're a father of how many?
4
girls, boys.
I have 3 girls, and my youngest is a boy.
Wow.
My first boy, he's 5.
So you have a 5-year-old son, and then your oldest is.
I have my oldest daughter is 26. I have a 16-year-old. I have a 7-year-old girl and a 5-year-old.
God bless
boy.
you, first of all. That's a lot to
TVs in your house, man. Got some TVs in your house. Got to get some TVs put in your house, man. Too much going on in there.
Do they know who Daddy is and the impact that you've had on music?
It's so weird because the little ones, I think they seem like they get a little more excited. Like when I do a show, they always like, let me see the video.
And now when they see the crowd that showed up, and
now
everybody knowing the words, and
my 16-year-old, she was never impressed. But I used to always play Mama Said Knock You Out, right? So she loved Mama Said Knock You Out. So over the summer, I did a show with LL.
Yes.
And I took her because she's old enough now. So now she's impressed. She's like, LL Cool J? Like,
isn't that funny?
You was on stage,
my
LL Cool J or whatever.
Yeah.
So now
you're
she's
relevant.
starting to get a little more
right.
Because LL.
The 26-year-old, though, I would think was around for the I Get Money, remix and all that. And so therefore kind of have a little...
I used to take her to actually take her to shows when she was small. So she was, now she's not impressed, but she was, there's a time when she was impressed. But my little ones, my son, he's singing it. He's every day. He's before I left, he's like, Milk is chilling.
Oh,
I'm like, I'm going to do an interview. He's like, Milk is chilling.
I love it. That's wonderful.
That's good.
They say a prophet is least respected in his hometown. So usually it's your kids that don't really understand the greatness. How about you, Scrap? When you have how many children?
I have one daughter.
One daughter.
Right.
Okay. And she's a dancer as well, if I recall correctly. Right?
She is.
And that was inspired by you.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So she's aware of the impact that you've had of the...
She had a very good idea. She knew all about it. Did she care? I doubt it. She was just so busy into her education. You know, she graduated from St. John's and John Jay, and now she's just off to the races. And
that's wonderful.
But she came to the show when we did the verses. You should have been there. And
I should have been there.
You should have been there. You would have loved it.
I didn't get an invitation.
You don't need no invitation.
Y'all be surprised.
Milk is
But yeah,
chilling.
she loved it. She loved it. We had a good time. And it kind of dawned on her finally, like, he's a contributor to the music industry.
To the culture.
A good contributor.
Oh my
Culture, yeah.
A major one.
Yes, absolutely.
Not just
she had a little backstage pass on running around.
Yeah.
My dad is right there.
Yes.
I was like, look at this little girl here.
I'm sorry.
No.
I could only remember like Big Daddy Kane dances and Heavy D dances.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was just y'all.
Because
Who else
they were
was
part of the
that was the time.
Yeah.
And
It couldn't play.
They was on the album covers.
Yeah.
They was on the album covers.
Right.
we couldn't wait to see what they was doing.
Exactly.
To see what we gonna do in the party.
It was acrobatics going on.
Yeah,
Like there was, you know what I'm saying?
It was.
Y'all ever get hurt?
Every once in a while, but yeah, we did. Yeah, we tried new things and it didn't work out in our favor. I think Scoop twisted his ankle one time.
No.
I broke a finger or something.
Yeah, y'all started flipping
y'all
like
were doing
vagabond
things.
and doing
Yeah.
We were young. We were a bunch of daredevils. You know, we just wanted to separate ourselves from the pack.
Absolutely.
and y'all did.
Thank you.
You definitely
Absolutely.
We
did.
just wanted to separate ourselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had-
So
We did a
what's
lot of shows together.
We did.
Oh my gosh.
Did you? Let's hear
We did.
some of those stories.
Of course they did.
Sir Milk D.
I'm not gonna tell that story. But we did a lot of shows. So my first show, I'm trying to remember if y'all was there. The first show, this was what I call my official first show. I've done shows, but like I said, after pushing the record for so long and nothing happened. One day we get a call and they want us to do a show in Harlem at this elementary or middle school. And when we got there, we showed up. It was like all the kids was going crazy, and I was
my school would have went berserk.
I'm like, this is really working. This is really working. So we did that show, and there was 2 shows that night. The second show was in the Bronx with Biz and Kane, and it was in the it's in the rec room in the projects, and Biz and Kane was there, and that was so I consider that my first show. It was with Biz and Kane. And when I was on stage, I started rapping. They grabbed my feet. They was pulling me down and pulled my shoe off. And Biz pulled me back up on the stage. I was like, yo, this is really working. I'm blowing up. Oh, man.
I
made it, finally working. So nice. I don't know if y'all was there or not, but that was the first one with Biz and Kane. And we've done so many, us, y'all, and KRS-One. It seemed like we was always on in Biz.
This is true.
The same shows.
All right, now tell a story, man. I want to hear it.
All right, I'll tell a story. I just thought of another one. So one time we had a show in and I think it was Rochester, New York.
I remember that.
Okay, and then we was all in the limo.
One I remember.
Okay, so it was Kane, y'all, Kane, Mr. C, TJ Swan.
I remember that
and
one.
Biz. We were all in this limo, and we was going to Rochester. So we're in the limo, and we start telling tour stories about girls. Like, oh yeah, I had this girl in Ohio and so, right? And I had this watch. Back then, this was high tech, a watch where you could put the phone numbers in.
Yes.
Oh, what?
So we started telling all these stories about these girls. And I was like, yeah, well, I met this girl in Ohio. I'm like, yeah, her name was Nikki. And every time I pulled the girl out of my watch, one of them would be like, oh yeah, I hit that. I was like, try again. I'm like, from Ohio? Yep. Nikki from Ohio? It was like, yeah, what's her number? Yeah, I hit that.
That groupie life.
TJ Swan was like, yeah, I hit that. I'm like, oh, damn.
It was a juice crew thing.
I thought it was me.
Ooh, it was a juice crew thing.
Nikki, they talking about you, girl.
He said, what's the number? Yeah.
She's still out there. Nikki's still out there telling her stories too. What was her last name? What's her last name? I'm gonna have the auntie named Nikki.
You got a good memory, Milk. I gotta give it to you. You have a strong memory, brother.
You remember that? We was in the. I was like, yo, I gotta.
We set you up for that. Man.
Everybody.
That's hysterical.
Got a good memory, man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Any moments in either one of your careers that when you look back on it now, you go, wow, I can't believe I was there for that. Or, you know, wow, I can't believe I rubbed elbows with those people. Because, for instance, this week I saw, because the 80s to me was the pinnacle of music, period. Like, pop music was banging, rock music was banging, country music was banging, hip hop music was emerging. And so Madonna announced she's going on tour. And I'm ready to go get my tickets because I was a material girl. I was like a virgin and all that. So, you know, during that time, was there like Prince, Michael Jackson? Was there any moment that you look back on now and go, wow, you know?
Milk?
I'll say this because I have it hanging up in my dining room. The Great Day in Harlem photo shoot. You ever seen that?
I have.
No.
Were you there?
Yeah, I'm in the picture.
Are you?
Gordon
Is that
Parks,
when all the rappers?
That's the legendary Gordon Parks picture.
took it. Right.
No.
Right. He did. Okay. So he did one with the jazz players in the 60s.
Right.
And they recreated it in
Harlem in the 80s.
On the same stoops. And it had a whole lot of people in it.
Do you have it framed in your house?
I have it framed. It's on my wall in the dining room.
Oh my God.
So
I got one too.
That's something that
I was gonna say, girl, you ain't never shown me that one. All right. I was about to go through her house like, where that?
It was downstairs in the basement.
Oh my God.
So that feels good.
Yeah.
And there's so many.
Because what a moment. And Gordon Parks.
Yeah. And he died like 6 months after he took that picture.
Wow.
Yeah. He was like 90 something when he took it. And the crazy
so
thing
it's one
is,
of his last photos.
Yeah, I think it is his last.
Everybody's in that picture, right?
Yeah, it's the who's who. It's the same thing for the hip hop.
It's like a
era as it was for the jazz era back in the day when he did the original.
So I'm happy about that.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's fantastic. Scrap.
I guess we finally met Michael Jackson himself. He
met the man.
He gave Scuba and I an opportunity to do that Remember the Time video. He wanted us to choreograph that.
Really?
Yeah.
He was going to give us an opportunity to record that Remember the Time video. But I think he was asking for too much money. We were being greedy because that was Michael Jackson.
Yeah. And we need $20 billion.
We wanted like some good money for that. But at that time, you could find dancers literally everywhere, all over the place. So we got undercut by another dance group and everything. And they got the job.
The person who finally did it did an amazing Fatima. Fatima.
Yeah.
Fatima and Stretch did that.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Where's Big Les? Remember Big Les?
But she was in the video too. She was in the video too.
I know she was
Sunday.
She's choreographed.
Saw her recently.
I just saw her Sunday. She
really. So she's still in doing.
Yeah, and she looks.
Thing.
Yeah, I got a picture. She looks really.
She looks fantastic. From what I've seen, she looks fantastic.
Of course she does.
She just said.
Let me ask you both.
She does.
Let me ask you both. What advice would you give if I'm a young artist and I'm just getting started in hip hop? It's a whole different day, though. Like now, I feel like you can get famous on social media, or if you have the right, formula. But would you suggest to a person to go independent or sign with a major label, or is there any difference anymore?
I would probably suggest go independent to begin with. I mean, because, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to run into those forks in the road. You're going to probably run into a brick wall at some point. I'm the type of person, if I make a mistake, I'll take full responsibility. I'll own up to that.
Right.
But I'm a little reluctant to take somebody else's mistakes. I want to learn on my own, essentially.
Exactly.
If I make it, it happens, I did it.
Right.
If it doesn't make it, I have myself to blame.
Okay.
So I'm a student by nature. I want to find out what it's like to succeed on my own.
Right.
If that fails, we can go to plan B.
Okay. You agree?
Yes, but I think that it could be different for each artist. It depends where your strengths are. Because some artists have that hustle in them and they could do it independent. But some may just be talented and they may need the label to handle all of that. So it depends on what type of artist you are.
Right.
Okay.
But either way, could be good, you know. What you doing, looking at yourself?
Yes, I was actually looking at her playing on her phone. So
this is his phone. I was going through it. I'm sorry.
What? Oh, you went through it all?
I was swiping to the left.
You didn't see nothing.
You didn't see anything, did you?
I'm not gonna say.
You didn't see nothing.
No, but I see bow-legged Lou up in there. Wow, you brought me back. Big Les, everybody.
Sunday was the mixtape comedy show.
Okay.
Y'all ever do that? You ever seen that?
No.
So they do it once a month.
Yes.
I performed there last month, but this month I just went.
Is that where that was at?
That's where that was at.
Oh, we want to come.
I could set that up.
All right.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's at Gotham. It's on 23rd Street.
Yes.
But they
we want to pull up.
Royale. It was Anthony Anderson's thing. Yeah.
Yes.
So
it's wonderful to see, honestly, both of you still so active in the industry at this point in your careers, you know, and still so impactful and doing your part to give back to the younger people who are trying to get, like, the fact that you're teaching a class, I think, especially at the Gerard Carter Center in Stapleton, is such a wonderful thing. And I hope the youth in that community are taking advantage of the opportunity to be with the legend and learn, you know.
Yes.
I think selfishly, I feel like, and this is something I think you learn as you get older, when you're blessed, you have to give back. And
at some point you do.
Yeah, you got to give back. And I feel like if I could share with the youth and give back, selfishly, it fulfills me and it makes me feel good. So that's why I do it. They don't care. They don't know who I am. They just be like, oh, Mr. Milk or whatever.
Santa Claus is here.
Be like, they don't know 50 Cent. They don't know me. They be like, and then
But
like,
that makes
if
it
we
all
go
the
out
better.
on field
Their
trips,
mamas know,
and
their
people be
fathers
like,
know.
yo, can I get an autograph? They be like, why are you getting his
Wow.
autograph?
You see him every day. He's nobody.
Mr. Milk.
Yeah, they
That's
don't. They
Mr.
don't know.
Milk.
Yeah, but I find that to be the most rewarding work when you work with children.
Yeah.
And,
The innocence.
Because
of
we
it.
need.
Mhm.
I mean,
Anyway.
I'm not gonna get into it, but I think that number
Get
one,
into
we have to focus on our youth. And I know
And the
that
future.
when I was coming up, I went to a school in Bushwick called Philippa Schuyler Middle School for the Gifted and Talented. And every day we would go in that school and they would tell us how gifted we are and how talented we were.
You was kind,
and
you
we
was
all
important.
right. Even Ty Billa,
that
gifted,
matters.
and we're going
Yes.
far. They instilled that in us,
That matters.
and even it does matter. So it's like we have to try and give. This is my mission, to give the kids an alternate philosophy, right? And some of the stuff that they say in class, like me and April cursed them out like last year because we were in class and they were like, we don't use black businesses. And I'm like, y'all don't,
I know y'all got into
like,
them
what
that
are you
day.
talking about? I'm
Yeah,
like, yo, don't
that's
you
who
know
we
that's
are.
how they want you to think? And they're like, who's they?
Exactly.
Who's they? I was like, you think you came up with that yourself? So
Oh, that's
an
powerful
alternate
stuff. Yeah.
philosophy is what we have to give them and make them feel like they're gifted and talented, because we all are.
Yes, we are.
In one way or another. Yeah.
We
one way or
all
another.
are. But somebody has to make you know
that
that and
out of you.
understand it. So I was given that gift. So that's what I try to do, for the kids.
I love that.
Nice.
Me too. Ain't
I love that.
Yes.
Very nice.
That's wonderful. Yes. I feel inspired. I'm so glad you guys were our first guests of 2023. I think it's fitting. This has been an inspiring chat for anybody who is chasing a dream and people are telling you give up on it. Milk D is evidence that if you keep at it, I mean, we're talking, this is 38 years later.
Still standing.
And still not only just standing, still a classic, still in high demand. What's a day in the life like today for you two? Do you wake up in the morning and pinch yourself and what's it like? What's it mean?
I try to make every day better than yesterday.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Okay.
Whatever worked for me yesterday, push harder today.
So if there's a young dancer out there now, young choreographer, young tastemaker, what is your advice to them?
Follow your dream. And don't accept the word no as an option.
I like that.
I agree.
Same?
I definitely agree.
Okay.
Yeah. I have like a process now that I go through. I do affirmations in the morning when I wake up. I get my kids to school and I go in the studio and be creative. I spend most of my time just creating, coming up with new stuff. And then I, do my shows and teach the classes when, a few times a week. So
that's wonderful.
That's it. And I practice the attitude of gratitude.
Yes.
So I'm grateful every day.
Everybody needs to do that.
I like
Absolutely.
that. I like that. The attitude of gratitude.
Attitude of gratitude.
You need to get that copywritten.
Right? What's your word for 2023 again?
Positivity.
Positivity.
Limitless.
Yes, health.
Focus. Figure out what your word is, people. Put it down in the chat. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Tell a friend. Make sure you tune in to every episode of Fine Wine and Good Times. And cheers to our guests. Thank you us tonight. Yes.
Thanks.
Yes. See you next time.